What's up, Ninja Geeks? My name is OMGWTF, LOL, FTWBRB, and welcome to Suprocker Saturday. What used to be the one day of the week that I take really any game with no story behind it and make videos, but like I said, it used to be, but since the departure of WWE 12, I've decided to do Suprocker Sunday and Suprocker Saturday. So 2 days a week we're going to have these things going down. Of course, every Saturday I'm going to be doing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and every Sunday I'm going to be doing Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL's Arcade. This time around on our Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm going to be doing a team I've kind of been testing out lately. It's X-23, Wolverine, and Strider Hero, and this time around we're actually going to be winning the whole thing with Wolverine. So I will give you all the info that I found on Wolverine that I thought was, pretty neat. Our first match against... hold on.
You die. Not my fault.
I'm the only guardian the galaxy needs.
Alright, well, our first fight, of course, is going to be between Nova, Felicia, and Domaru. But why don't we get started on some of Wolverine? Shall we, nerds and geeks? I think we shall. So, Wolverine, the character, was created by Lee Wein. Excuse me if I pronounce these names wrong, by the way, about Lee Wein, John Romita Sr., and Herb Trimpe. Like I said, I apologize if I messed those names up, but his first appearance was in the Incredible Hulk number 180, and it was in the cover panel. But his first actual appearance was in the actual issue afterwards. He appeared in a number of advertisements, actually, in various Marvel comic publications, but he made his first major appearance in the Incredible Hulk number 181. And his introduction was ambiguous. It revealed little beyond him being just a superhuman agent working for the Canadian government. So that's really all they revealed when he first came out. And also in his first appearance, he actually does not retract his claws. That he doesn't pull them in or out; they're always just out. And Lee Wein, one of the creators, stated that he had always envisioned them to be retractable, though. This match is just about done, if not done now. About one more hit. But we're going to beat him right here with X-23, and we'll continue talking more about Wolverine in the next battle.
Before I really get mad.
As you can see, these claws don't mess around. Yes, 23, as I can see, these claws do not mess around. Our next battle will be against Strider Hero, Virgil, and Akuma, it seems like. Yep, Strider Hero, Virgil, and Akuma, so very interesting team. Virgil's actually one of my mains, even though I'm not too good at this game. But nonetheless, after the whole Incredible Hulk thing, Wolverine actually appeared in his first actual comic that featured him most of the time, and it was the giant-size X-Men, and he appeared in the first issue, and he was recruited in that issue. Wow, I fucked up Strider Hero for a new squad. And believe it or not, Wolverine was actually almost dropped out of the X-Men by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum. Like I said, I apologize for not pronouncing his name wrong. They actually preferred the character Nightcrawler. If you don't know who Nightcrawler is, he's that blue creature in the X-Men that teleports. Not the Beast, the other one. But John Bryan, Cockrum's successor at the time, championed the character, stating that as a fellow Canadian, that he did not want to see a Canadian character drop, so luckily John Bryan was there, right? He really fucked up Virgil, too. Wolverine's growing in popularity actually led to a solo 4-issue title Wolverine in through December in 1982. Followed by a 6-issue title, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. But we actually just won there, so you're good. You fight me, you're gonna get hurt. End of story. Well, Wolverine, good thing you're not real, because I don't want to fight you. I'm not even gonna lie.
Already identified 17 ways to beat me.
I've fought in more wars than you can count.
So our next battle will be against Captain America, Chun-Li, and Doctor Strange. We've already done Captain America and Doctor Strange, so that's pretty neat. But After the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine issue, Marvel launched a solo book in November 1988 that ran for 189 issues. Also, despite suggestions that the co-creator Lee Win originally intended for Wolverine to be a mutated Wolverine cub evolved from being the High Evolutionary. Thank God that did not happen, but Lee Win denies that it's true, but I believe there's some proof around there saying that he did, though. But, nonetheless, I know there's another one, I just can't remember, I didn't write it down. But, back to the actual character Wolverine. He was born James Howlett in Alberta, Canada in the late 1880s to rich farm owners, John and Elizabeth Howlett. But later on, it was revealed in the comic Wolverine Goes to Hell that he's actually the illegitimate son of Howlett's groundskeeper Thomas Logan. And this is pretty a well-known thing of Wolverine, but if none of you knew, during World War II he actually teams up with Captain America and continues a career as a soldier of fortune / adventurer. I think we actually, yep, Chun-Li walked into that and we wiped the floor with Chun-Li there.
What I do isn't very nice.
That'll learn you, punk. Not correct grammar, but nonetheless, I'm not going to be the one to correct Wolverine.
Get ready for the fight of your life.
You don't want to get hurt, do you?
Come on. Fight!
Well, our next battle is going to be against Ryu, or Ryu, whichever one you want to call him, Spider-Man, and Phoenix Wright. So back to what I was saying, after the Soldier of Fortune and Adventure, he then serves with the 1st Canadian Parachute Battalion during D-Day and the CIA before being recruited by Team X, a Black Ops unit. He has been on the X-Men, the New Avengers, X-Force, S.H.I.E.L.D., Extreme Sanctions, Executive, Avengers, Horsemen of Apocalypse, Alpha Fight, Team X, Weapon Plus, Department H, Department K, Hydra, The Hand, New Fantastic Four, Secret Defender, and Jean Grey School. Oh, also in the Uncanny Avengers. So Wolverine, he's been a member of many teams. Also, another interesting thing about Wolverine, he's a mutant with both a number of natural and artificial improvements, and we just got fucked up by Ryu. To his but he's, like I said, both natural and artificial improvements to his physiology. Hold on, I want to watch this. I love that. His primary immunity power is an accelerated healing process, and his skeleton was reinforced with virtually indestructible metal adamantium when he underwent the Weapon X program. It is also believed the only way to stop him is to decapitate him and remove his head from the vicinity of his body. And that's actually from Professor Xavier himself. Another very interesting thing I found is that his healing ability dramatically slows his aging process, allowing him to live beyond the normal lifespan of a human, which would describe why he's been in so many wars. And although he heals his wounds, it does not suppress the pain he endures when injured. So he even admits to feeling phantom pains for weeks or months after healing from his injuries, so that's gotta suck. It really does. I'm deciding if I want to... we're almost done Ryu. I'm not too good at this game, as you see. I've seen people that are amazing with Strider Hiru, and actually I might go down. Nope. I'm just gonna cut Ryu up here. All fun. I think Wolverine's got something special, actually.
I thought you had more fight in you, kid.
That he does. That he does. You're a good kid. Lots of spirit. But you've got to find something to fight for. Trust me on this. Oh, Ryu! Take the advice of the great Wolverine and find something to fight for.
You die. Not my fault.
Our next battle will be against Amarastru, Storm, and Frank West. So, more things about Wolverine. Wolverine's mutation also consists of animal-like adaptations of his bodies, including pronounced and sharp fang-like canines and 3 retractable claws housed within each forearm, and that's before the Weapon X programmers and geeks. His claws can slice through almost anything with, you know, a few exceptions, kind of like Captain America's shield. And also, during his time in Japan and other countries, he becomes a master of virtually all forms of martial arts and is experienced in virtually every fighting style on Earth. He's proficient with most weaponry, including firearms, and though he is partial to bladed weapons. Wow. That was a good combo, I'm not even gonna lie. Go me. Wolverine sometimes lapses into what is called a berserker rage while in close combat. In this state, he lashes out with an intensity and aggression of an enraged animal. Though he loathes it, excuse me, I wrote that wrong. Though he loathes it, he acknowledges that it saved his life many times. Despite his apparent ease of taking lives, he does not enjoy killing or giving into the berserker rage, believe it or not. And down goes Frank West. No, not yet. Oh, didn't go down before. What? There we go. That's it. Ooh, he came at you, Frankie. I'm on the X-Men, the X-Force, and the friggin' Avengers, and I still had time to kick your ass. Wolverine, apparently is a busy man. Apparently is a busy man.
You don't want to get hurt, do you?
Our next battle will be against Senko, Chris Redfield, and Trish. Another very interesting thing about Wolverine I actually didn't know, and that he's fluent in so many languages, such as English, Japanese, Russian, Chinese, Cheyenne, Spanish, Arabic, and Lokata, just to name a few. And he has some knowledge of the languages such as French, Filipino, Thai, Vietnamese, German, Italian, Portuguese, Korean, Hindi, and Persian due to his increased lifespan. So that's a good job for Wolverine. Another good thing about, well, actually, not really a good thing, but another thing about Wolverine, if not many of you knew, is that he's a heavy drinker and smoker. His healing powers actually negate the long-term effects of alcohol and tobacco, so I guess that's good for him. And believe it or not, this one is actually very interesting to me. He's one of the very few X-Men characters to be included in every media adaptation of the franchise, including film, television, computer, and video games. I'm gonna go on a limb and say the only other person that has is Professor Xavier. It's the only one else I can think of. And oh boy, here comes the fun part of this. We get to go to the television part. Wolverine appears in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and was voiced by Neil Ross. Pride of the X-Men, again voiced by Neil Ross. X-Men, and he was voiced by Cathal J. Dodd in the English version, and excuse me for my pronunciation, Masahi Ebra of the Japanese version. X-Men Evolution was voiced by Scott McNeil. Wolverine and X-Men, Steve Blum. The Superhero Squad, Steve Blum. Black Panther, he was voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, once again was voiced by Steve Blum. The Marvel anime titled Wolverine, he was voiced by Rikia Koyoma in the Japanese version, and Milo Ventimiglia, excuse me, and that was the English version. He was in the Spider-Woman motion comics, was voiced by Jeffrey Hedquist, and the Marvel anime X-Men, well, titled X-Men, which was also another voice by Steve Blum. He's also, his last television thing so far has been The Ultimate Spider-Man, and is also returned by Steve Blum. So as you see, the running pattern here is Steve Blum actually does his voice quite a lot. And another, of course, I'm assuming most of you have seen the movies X-Men, but before Hugh Jackman actually, oh, never mind. He beat her.
What I do isn't very nice.
That's what happens when you scuffle with old Knucklehead. I wouldn't call myself Knucklehead if I were you, Wolverine, but I'm not you. Oh boy, it's Galactus.
You are not unlike an ant fighting the sun.
I'm the second best at what I do.
Yes, you are. So we get to take on Galactus, and I'm running out of time with all my stuff here. So like I was saying, before Hugh Jackman took the part of Wolverine in the movies, several people were actually considered for playing the role, such as Glenn Danzig, Russell Crowe, Edward Norton, Mel Gibson, Keanu Reeves, but eventually Doug Ray Scott was casted as Wolverine, but his shooting on the movie Mission Impossible 2 overran, so Jackman became his replacement. And in movies, Wolverine appears in X-Men, X2, X-Men United, X-Men The Last Stand, and X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh, and also X-Men First Class, and that was all played by Hugh Jackman. He was in the Hulk vs. Wolverine, which he was voiced by Steve Blum once again. And the movie The Wolverine is planned for 2013 with Jackman playing him once again. And here comes the fun part. Wolverine has been in quite a few games. I will let this continue on a little bit if I cannot finish it in time. He's been in The Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Madness in Murder World, X-Men 2 The Fall of Mutants, X-Men, and just name X-Men, Spider-Man / X-Men Arcade's Revenge, X-Men once again, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, X-Men Children of the Atom, X-Men 2 Game Master's Legacy, X-Men 2 Clone Wars, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, X-Men 3 Mojo World, X-Men The Ravages of Apocalypse, X-Men Mutant Academy, X-Men Mutant Wars, X-Men Mutant Academy 2, X-Men Reign of Apocalypse, X-Men Next Dimension, X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse, X-Men The Official Game, Wolverine, Wolverine Adamantium Rage, X-Men Wolverine's Rage, X2 Wolverine's Revenge, X-Men once again, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Marvel Superheroes War of Gems, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvels vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, Marvel Nemesis Rise of Imperfects, we save the Earth, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Marvel Superhero Squad, Marvel Superhero Squad The Infinity Gauntlet, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds, he's also voiced by Steve Blum in this, Marvel Superhero Squad Comic Combat, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Ultimate Spider-Man, and let's do this. With everything I go through as a mutant, with everything I go through as an X-Men, and now with everything I just went through with Galactus, cripes, I could use a break. Hello there, handsome. Yeah, this'll do. Well, there's a nice little, actually, change from the, previous one. They had a little bit more talk in there, but they cut it down, but let's finish this off real quick. Marvel Superhero Squad Comic Combat, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and his reference in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, X-Men Destiny, Marvel Superhero Squad Online, Marvel Avengers Alliance, Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth, Marvel Heroes, and in Deadpool. 2 games also were cancelled, Quest Probe featuring the X-Men and X-Woman. He's also appeared in 1 book, believe it or not. Wolverine appears in the X-Men / Star Trek crossover novel Planet X. And he's referencing some music, believe it or not. The Bloodhound Gang song, Why's Everybody's Always Picking on Me, Rancid song, Sidekick, and Exhibit song, and his song, just X. The band Entombed has an album called Wolverine Blues with Wolverine on an alternate cover. The band did not intend to associate the album or song with the character, even though the music video contains many images of Wolverine. Canadian heavy metal band Annihilator has a song called Weapon X, which is based on Wolverine. But that is the end, nerds and geeks. I'm finally done with Wolverine. I gave you all the information that I thought was cool without trying to do too much, and I actually talked through most of my matches. I'm apologizing for that, but it's better than my awkward commentary of me trying to call a match that I'm not really paying attention to. So that's all the information I found about Wolverine that I found interesting. I do hope you've enjoyed this Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 playthrough as Wolverine, and if you did, please leave me a like, and if you would like to see more, please subscribe. I have been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, Nerds and Geeks, and I'll be seeing you next week when we continue on with another Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 character, also and tomorrow for Suprocker Sunday for the Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion arcade version. So until then, Nerds and Geeks, you guys have a great day.